40 days ago, I decided to change the trajectory of my life. So, yeah, 40 days ago, um, I started to lock in. I hopped on self improvement. And not just the fancy self improvement that you see these online gurus spread around the internet. I actually hopped on self improvement, like the real deal. Not the polished, kind of glorified version you see on the internet. I decided to actually take action, literally take action, and do what 99.99% of people are not willing to do. Like, I'm pretty sure me and my one friend that I'm doing it with are like the only ones in Denmark doing the same thing. No one has done it in our country. Literally, it's probably that rare because I don't know anyone else that does it. Yeah, but for the past 40 days, ever since I met my good friend Rasmus Gregersen, who was the one who really kickstarted things for me. He was the one who really got my ball kind of rolling. He taught me discipline. He taught me how to structure your day. He taught me to actually have the guts to sacrifice yourself in the moment for your future. He's the one who really started things for me, and I am forever grateful for that. I don't know where I would be. Well, I have somewhat of an idea of where I would be if I hadn't met this guy. And it's crazy, right? Because this guy, I had no idea. Like, yeah, I went to the same gym as him. I had no idea who he really was, right? But just one day, because he was a mutual friend, we just started talking to each other, and as time went on, because I've always been on this kind of, I've always wanted to start self improvement ever since finding out about it in probably late 2022 or something. I have always wanted, I was always curious. Actually, no, it was even before. Ever since, before I even started going to the gym, which was in November, I remember distinctly. I remember the first self improvement guy that I started to look up to was Ice Cold JT. That guy, bro. I don't know what happened to him, but that is crazy. That is so long ago. That was in November, either November. Yeah, it was November because I remember it was No Nut November, and then it was like bro, I had to like try this new like No Nut November challenge, and then I got introduced to all this like no fat and self improvement, all this. Um, but yeah, it was 2021. Um, discovering self improvement for the first time. Really didn't like get it outside of like no fat. I didn't really like look into it that much. Um, at the time, I was only really doing it for the challenge. I also kind of didn't know what NNN was. So I wasn't really like, I didn't really know like how it all functioned, but that's normal because yeah, I was just discovering this for the first time, and I was like kind of intrigued, obviously. And then we moved. We moved a bit further away, and I started high school, and that's where things really like, where things really just. I just had this epiphany of, holy shit, I need to lock in. Like, at the time, I was just a scrawny little kid, like insecure. Um, I was bullied, not physically, thankfully, but mostly verbally. Um, and yeah, I'm being vulnerable with you guys. I'm trying to be vulnerable so you guys can kind of see that anyone can do this. Like literally anyone. Doesn't matter who you are. You can literally start self improvement. It does not matter. And I'm trying to show you guys where I kind of started, tell you guys where I started, and why this means so much for me. you know, it literally doesn't matter who you are. There's it's gonna be nearly impossible to find an excuse as of why not to better yourself. Unless you're literally physically handicapped or something. Even then, like there are people I've seen on the internet still go to the gym, still work their hardest despite their adversity. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. People make excuses that are in have a healthy body, healthy mind. Well, it may not be healthy. That's probably why they're hopping on self improvement. They may not have a healthy body, and that's probably why they're hopping on self improvement. But they have a body and mind that is capable of hopping on self improvement, right? But yeah, it all started in 2021. I was a scrawny little kid, really insecure. We moved to Denmark, and I've been living. I've been living in other countries due to my dad's job. We just came back from Kenya actually. We lived there for 3 years, which was honestly that was probably the greatest place I've ever lived. Like, I was probably like one of the best experiences. I just had great friends. I had a great life back then. But it's nothing to dwell to. There's no point in dwelling in the past. I just like reminiscing about it once in a while, right? But yeah, anyways, that contrast from living in Kenya, not having to really worry about anything, to moving back to Denmark, and things are just different. The weather, the people. Honestly, the people aren't even as nice here in Denmark. Yeah, they're nice there, but it's just the energy. I just feel like people here are just, it's different. It's not genuine, you know. But yeah, anyways. So it was tough for me also because the only person I had been speaking, I had to go to a Danish school. There wasn't really any option for me. But thankfully, since my dad's Danish, I had always been speaking Danish to him throughout my childhood and upbringing because we've always been living like outside of Denmark like almost my entire life up until leaving Kenya. So my dad has really been the only person I've learned Danish from. I did go to a Danish kindergarten, but other than that, my dad has just been there to teach me Danish. So my Danish, I don't know, wasn't the best when moving back to Denmark. I'm gonna be honest because at the time I hadn't really learned like I knew the language, right? I knew the language, but I couldn't read or I couldn't spell because I had only learned it like verbally, right? And I didn't apply Danish in school or I didn't learn to read and write. So at the time I had no idea how to read and write, and I've literally learned how to read and write in Danish for the past like three actually yeah 3 years. No, yeah, 3 years. I knew how to speak like, okay, my bad, my camera just decided to my storage ran out mid recording, so I had to deal with that. I was talking about the fact that when I returned back to Denmark, it was such a sudden like change of environment, and the reason why we moved back to Denmark was for me to pursue my education, right? It was for me to go to high school. And I was just plopped back into the system. It was really new. It was really different for me. It was honestly very overwhelming for little 14-year-old me. And yeah, what can I say? I mean, I was literally dumbfounded. Like, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know like how to fit in. I was literally an outsider. Literally, like I literally came from a fucking different country. I looked different. I had a really strong accent when speaking Danish. I couldn't pronounce my R's. Like, bro, And yeah, I mean, I had to deal with that, torment and ridicule, right? Like, that was such a honestly dark period of my life. But yeah. Yeah, fuck. It's hard for me to talk about this, but yeah. Sorry, guys. Just brought back some, I don't know, some memories. It's just astounding to see how much I've changed. Like, it's really, I don't know, it's kind of inspiring for myself in some sense. Um, I'm not crying for you guys to feel bad for me. No. I mean, it's just talking about this. It just brought up some feelings. Like, I don't know, because yeah, it was a really dark. Like, I was really like insecure and really my self-esteem was like at a rock bottom. Like, so yeah, I mean, and my family, bro, my parents were still, struggling to find a job because my dad, he was like too old to find a job here in Denmark, and my mom, she's Indonesian and she doesn't even have a Danish like citizenship. So like we had to like struggle, bro. We didn't have a place of residence when we first arrived in Denmark. We didn't have a house. We didn't have like because we literally, yeah, been living abroad our entire lives, right? So we just had to come back and be forced to live, um, and just integrate. We were literally forced to do that, and since we didn't have a place of residence, we had to live in our summer house, which we did. And our summer house isn't big; it's a small place, but we were forced to live there for well over, I would say, yeah, 1.5 years. We had to live in there. 1.5 years. Um, so yeah, I mean that was tough, and I had to go to a very like very I don't know how to say this without it coming out wrong, but we had to live in this or I had to go to school in this like it sounds like all white school, but it was kind of a school just for like white kids, like you wouldn't like if there was like a foreign person, they would immediately like be outcast regardless, right? Also because like I have a different name, I look different, I speak like everything about me was different, and that made me an easy target, right? That made me a really easy target for disrespect, torment, I don't know, stuff like that, right? And that really just destroyed me. Like, I had no self-worth, none whatsoever. I just remember how sad I was, and that was around about a year had not a year, about 6 months had passed, and I realized, holy fuck, I wasn't even really started with self-improvement. I hadn't really locked in at that point yet. um it took me until November 2024 to really start. I've been dwelling in this, I've been trying, I've been failing because I didn't try hard. I didn't want it hard enough, I didn't want it bad enough, right? I I was this little insecure kid, Asian kid, who okay, I graduated from primary school, and I went on to high school, and nearly the same thing happened there. I was still a little bitch, right? I was still a little bitch. Um, and that's honestly, um, I'd already been going to the gym at that point since May, and school started in August. But I've been going to school since, or I've been going to the gym since April that same year, April 2022. I've been going, um, and and yeah, but I was still like, I hadn't really worked on myself. Like really, I hadn't really started working on myself, my true inner self. Right? I've just been going to the gym, and I did that up until like right now, like literally right now. I gave self improvement a shot in 2023 as well, in around the same period, like October, um, where I tried to give it a shot, failed because I didn't really hold myself to a very high standard. I woke up late. I just journaled. I didn't really do what I didn't want to do. Like I kind of just did what I could get away with. You know, I just did what I could get away with without actually putting my work into actually putting my blood, sweat, and tears into something, right? Um, but yeah. But yeah, and then being going to the gym, I started making progress. My confidence grew. Um, I got strong. I was more, I don't know, well, I don't know how to put this. I was more well respected in some sense. I wasn't bullied as much. I was still kind of bullied, but more so, um, yeah, I don't know. The bullying was mostly racist, right? Calling me some Asian slur or something. Like, and I'm literally like short Asian, not the smartest. Like I was such an easy target, bro. And if I could do it, you could also do it, bro. You literally have zero excuses. The only person holding you back is yourself. That's the only person holding you back. Really, like, bro, you just gotta shut that part of your mind off, right? You just gotta throw it out, throw it away. But yeah, I got stronger. I started to look better. My confidence grew. But I knew within my inner self, I was still that same little, insecure, scrawny kid that feels like an outsider. I still felt like an outsider. I didn't really feel like I belonged. Um, I still felt, foreign. I don't. It's, it was tough. Um, and continuously, I was continuously unsatisfied with the current state of my life. Yet I still wasn't. I still didn't want it bad enough in order to make a change. I still wasn't fed up enough for some odd reason. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But eventually I reached that breaking point where I eventually locked in, which was 40 days ago, right? I had been trying self-improvement on and off, but the thing is, I made these false promises to myself. I made these false commitments. I said I would do this. I never ended up doing it. I let my family down. I let my friends down. I kept saying it. I just didn't do it. I kept talking about it. I just didn't do it. I got the dopamine from telling others about it. I didn't get the dopamine from actually completing the task. But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Tell your family, tell your peers, you can talk about, but don't like go overboard, right? As if you're just flexing it. But just tell them, because that'll keep you accountable if you actually don't do it. Because if you don't do it, you're just gonna feel like a fraud. You don't wanna be a fraud. Being a fraud is the worst thing ever. And it's absolutely gonna destroy your confidence. If you say you're gonna do something, you don't do it, you wonder why you aren't confident. You wonder why. Confidence comes from action. Confidence comes from doing what you're saying, right? Because telling yourself affirmations in a mirror doesn't really build genuine confidence. It just kind of, again, it just gives your brain a little dopamine saying, oh yeah, you're confident, you're worth it, but you're not actually worth it because you haven't done anything. You haven't actually put in the work. So you don't have a foundation for your confidence. You don't actually have that genuine intrinsic confidence from within. It's all external, and that'll eventually, just get washed off. So confidence comes from action. Confidence comes from taking action on what you want to do, or what you say you're gonna do. But eventually my life got to a point where I realized, holy shit, my future depends on me. Like, holy shit, I really need to lock in. I tried all these businesses in the past and they failed, and people laughed at me, and people said I was, drop shipping. Yeah, because I tried drop shipping in 2022, right? And people clown me for that shit. It's funny. It's always the people with the lowest standards, the people who are absolute losers, who are never willing to actually try and set out on any kind of venture, who aren't willing to try. They're always the ones that are the first to hate when someone else tries to do something, because they try to pull you down. Yeah, I might have failed. At least I tried. What have you done? Seriously, what have you done? Since when has it become not cool to try? Like, take a look at take a genuine look at yourself, bro. You're a fucking loser. And you're coming out here telling me I'm a loser for trying to start a business? How is that a loser activity? Like, are you that mentally inept? I don't get some people, genuinely. They are so out of touch with the reality that all they can think about is what others are doing, because they're so insecure about themselves. They constantly need someone to compare themselves to in order to make themselves feel better. I'm not going to name any names, but I had a peer in school who just it just frustrates me, bro. How he's locked out. How locked out he is. Yet he still hates. He is the most hateful person I've ever seen. It's always those people who are the lowest of the lowest who always hate. Hate never comes from above. It always comes from those bottom dwellers. And you've just got to learn to accept that, because when you're posting stuff like this online, you're eventually going to get hate, right? You're inevitably going to get hate, no matter what. But all I can do is just sit there and laugh, because holy shit, they're hating based on their own insecurities. They're hating because they're seeing someone who's actually willing to try. And they look at themselves and they think, holy shit, my camera's falling. It's because I've kind of perched it up on my monitor. It's kind of weird. What was I saying? I was saying that... Is it gonna fall? Because you're showing them their kind of unfulfilled potential. And then they start thinking to themselves, why am I not trying? Why do I not have the guts to? Why do I not have the balls to try something? Why don't I have the balls to, work on my dreams, work on my goals? Why am I such a little bitch? Then they go online or even in person, they go out and, they... Bro, my camera is genuinely pissing me off right now. Is it gonna fall? I have no idea. Okay, there we go. Cool. And then they go out physically or, online, and they just spew hatred. And that just tells me more about them than it tells about me. About what they're telling about me, So all I can do is just, take it in, just find it funny. Because if you're getting hate, you're doing something right. You're being different. You're taking leaps ahead of other people. It is so easy to get ahead. It's so easy to get ahead in this day and age. People are like, their standards are genuinely so low. You couldn't even imagine. They are literally passive. They just exist. You just gotta do more than just exist. You just gotta take those few baby steps, and you're already ahead of 99% of people. Literally start waking up early. Start practicing daily habits. Start meditating. Start journaling. Start running. Start exercising. And you're already ahead of the majority. You're already ahead of 95% of people. It's that simple. But that doesn't mean stop there. That just means that you have no competition, essentially. And that is your chance to excel and try your absolute best. That is where you harness all your energy and actually shoot for the stars. But fuck, the coffee is gassing me up, but and 40 days ago I realized, after me and Rasmus, we had been talking for a little while, and he eventually convinced me to start this self-improvement. We had a call together, and he gave me kind of a general structure for how this would go, kind of my daily routine, my habits, and up to that point I was still a loser. I still am not where I want to be in life. Obviously, that's why I'm still doing this, and I'm still going to be doing it. Even if I have accomplished all my goals, I will still have new goals. I'll always strive to be better, right? Always. But up to that point, a lot of people are just, yeah, sure, I might have been going to the gym, I might have been strong, I might have had a good physique, but on my inner side, I was still a loser. I hadn't worked on myself mentally as a person. I hadn't worked on myself whatsoever. I was still that same loser. And I knew if I had to become successful in life, if I had to actually become someone and, provide for my family and my friends and gain my freedom, then I would have to sacrifice myself in the moment. And I would have to sacrifice all that comfort and pleasure that I was indulging in. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. It's that simple. So whenever something gets hard, just know, or not necessarily when something gets hard, but because not all difficult things are gonna benefit you down the line, but if there's a task that you're dwelling on or procrastinating on, or just putting off for the future, just know you're prioritizing yourself now than your future self. So, I mean, yeah, it's your choice, man. It's your choice. It's really just your choice. And if you don't get what you're longing for, or if you don't get what you want, then don't complain. Because you knew you had stuff to get done, yet you didn't take action. So, and everything is your fault. If you don't have control of yourself, that's your fault. Take control of yourself. If you don't have control of yourself, you don't have control of your life, and then who knows where you're gonna end up. So take control of your life. Take control. Having control requires discipline, self-discipline. And self-discipline is the most genuine form of self-love there is. Because you're literally sacrificing what you have, the pleasures right in front of you, for something in the future, for a better future, for a better version of yourself in the future, a more successful, a better looking self in the future. So, anyways, back to the start of my self-improvement. My actual self-improvement, not just something that I'm saying for fun. It's my actual start. So 40 days ago, I need to stop saying that, but I started waking up at 4:25 every single solitary day of my existence up until now. Actually, that was a lie. Not every single day. I have missed a few days, and that is completely my fault. Completely my fault. I really have no excuse. I have no excuses. Those were just days where my bitch mentality overpowered my actual self, my heart. My lizard brain overpowered what my heart was telling me. What I knew was supposed to be done. I didn't take action. I woke up late. But all other days, I think I missed like 2 days. All other days I've been waking up at 4:25. And ever since those days happened, I was like, no, this is unacceptable. There was a time where I thought it was okay to wake up late on the weekends. Just because, I have no school, it's a weekend anyways, who cares? No, doesn't matter. Who cares? Doesn't matter if it's a weekend. Doesn't matter. It really does not matter. And the main reason as to why one would wake up so early is, for one, you get a bunch more time. You get so much more work done. You are so much more productive in the morning. And for another, it's something that you don't want to do. It's something that you hate. So it builds that discipline, right? It builds discipline from within. Because I don't want to wake up at 4:25 every single day. I dread it every single day. It doesn't get easier for me. It's still going to be hard, even if I've slept 8 hours, bro. Also, if you're prioritizing your sleep, stop. Yes, strive for 8 hours, but if you don't get 8 hours, then so be it. You still gotta wake up, right? Prioritize working towards your goals instead of sleep. If you've given it your all the entire day, then go to sleep. If you haven't, if you still have tasks that are lingering, get them done and then sleep. Then you deserve to sleep. But up until then no, you haven't deserved to sleep. And that mentality is what starts to kind of callous your mind over time, and you're going to be able to take anything. You're going to start transforming into this new person who can tolerate anything. Whatever the world throws at you, you're going to be able to deflect it right back. So, yeah. And then, other than just waking up early, I also just do a bunch of other things that really just set me up for the day, set my frequency at a higher level. For instance, let me just run through my morning routine. I wake up 4 a.m., 4:25 to be exact. I make my bed as the very first thing in the morning. Well, I actually have some clothes laying in my bed. My bad. It's not even that messy. But very first thing is that I make my bed. And that little insignificant puny action is what kind of starts to kind of create the snowball effect that'll compile or bleed into the rest of my day. So even a action as insignificant as making your bed in the morning can have such huge consequences, or consequences kind of sounds negative, but it can have such a huge impact on your day. Because making your bed is something, well, first of all, yeah, it's a small task, but you probably don't want to do it when you're like half asleep at 4 a.m. But you get that little victory done. You start to create that momentum, and then that momentum will eventually carry over into other things in the day. So I make my bed, I go out, hit my 50 push-ups, hydrate. Actually, I usually hydrate first, but when I'm doing push-ups, it's kind of churning in my stomach, so I just hop directly into push-ups. Pump out 50 push-ups, post them on my story for that accountability factor, and it's really good to post like these things. Just start documenting your life. Just post these things, man. Fuck what other people think. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I do my 50 push. I hydrate, which is where I mix a half liter of lemon water and where I mix a half liter of water with salt and lemon juice in order to just refreshen me and hydrate me and get my kind of system kick-started. Then I go on to cardio. I run around 2 kilometers just to get my blood flowing, kind of clear my head up, and do something that I am dreading. I hate cardio. It's probably the worst part of the day, but as soon as you get it done, it's such a good feeling. So you're just way more clear in the head, and you're just fresh, and your sinuses are literally opened up, and you're just warm and ready to go. And after my cardio, I shower. I take a cold shower, which is another thing I really hate. I've heard a lot of things of people saying that, oh, cold showers aren't healthy, but we aren't doing this for health. Well, yeah, we're doing this for health, but cold showers aren't really gonna ruin your life anyways, even if they're slightly unhealthy or slightly bad for your body. Bro, what do you think our ancestors did when there wasn't warm? They took cold, well, I don't know if they even showered, bro, but they probably washed themselves once in a while, right? And that water was probably cold, so it didn't really kill them, right? It's not gonna kill you. Taking a cold shower isn't gonna kill you, right? It's something that you don't want to do. It's something that your mind is dreading, but you go in and do it anyways. And that develops your discipline, which goes for everything in life. So I hop in the cold shower, get out, do my skincare. Then I sometimes make coffee. It kind of depends on my freshness and whether I have to record a video or not, because I feel like whenever I get coffee and have to record a video, my mind is way more like It just opens up that creative side of my mind for some reason. Caffeine is really a magic pill. But anyways, then I journal. Open up my journal. I write down kind of just thoughts, honestly. Nothing specific. I don't do like a diary kind of thing where I say like dear diary, all this BS, right? I more so kind of jot down or describe what I'm feeling and how my life's going so far, what's been going on in during my journey. And for example, if I've read a book, write down maybe kind of what I read, what I've learned, how I might apply it, or maybe just plans for the day. Anything really. As long as you're writing something down and putting your thoughts onto paper, it really helps. Really helps. And I used to do meditation and reading in the morning, but I just felt like it was a waste of my time and energy. Yes, reading and meditation is healthy, right? But personally, I felt like meditation didn't really do anything for me. And it was kind of a waste of time, to be honest. And, you know, I had a tight schedule, so I just needed to get things done quickly. I just wanted to jump straight into work because I felt like if I meditated in the morning, it just felt like I was already like half asleep. It didn't really help me anyways. I was just in there like falling asleep anyways. So I have removed that. I have boycotted that. Because yeah, for one, it didn't really help me, and for another, I think it actually hindered me from actually starting my work because I got this like false sense of achievement as well as reading. Right, I was already like half asleep when reading. I didn't really benefit from it in the morning. I was already half asleep. I'd rather just jump directly, use my energy to actually get work done, which is why I'm doing all this anyway. So I might as well just get the work done, right? Because I felt I was like kind of draining my energy by doing this whole meditation thing, reading, because that it was very time consuming, and I didn't have that time. My time was valuable, right? I had to get work done. So yeah. But anyways, guys, that was kind of a longer video than usual. I just wanted to share my story, my kind of just journey, my journey so far, my experience with self-improvement. And hopefully you take this as an inspiration to actually start, to actually say what or do what you're gonna say, right? Do what you've been telling others about. Take action. Actually follow through. Be a man of your word. Be someone. Be the man your kids look up to. Your future children. Be that man. Be that man that can provide for his family. Be that man who can set an example. Be a role model. Remember, your future depends on you. Your family depends on you. Your friends depend on you. Your freedom depends on you. Your ability to be disciplined will result in your freedom. Freedom, discipline equals freedom. So, at the end of the day, it's your choice. If you don't take action, then so be it. But don't complain when you don't see the results you're looking for. Because you weren't willing to sacrifice yourself in the current moment. So, just start today and stop waiting. Stop waiting for something, the perfect moment. The perfect moment. Oh, I'm gonna wait till I graduate. I'm gonna wait till New Year and then I'll lock in. Stop putting it off in the future, because that moment you're looking for is never gonna come. It's always gonna elude you. It's always gonna be one step ahead of you. So you might as well just start right now. Just shut yourself up and start now. Start now. Like literally just, it has to be within like the snap of a finger. Just start. Like literally, what are you waiting for? Because your time is valuable. Tomorrow isn't promised. You might die tomorrow. But at least you would have died trying if you start today. So, yeah, guys. It's gonna be it for this video. I really do appreciate if you stuck around to the end. And, actually, start. Don't just watch this video for entertainment. Actually take action. I mean, if you're just watching this video for entertainment, then don't watch my videos. Use them. Genuinely use them as a part of your process. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next upload. Have a wonderful day, guys, and keep grinding. I genuinely wish the best for you. Alright, peace.